Hello and welcome to the prequel to counting. Yes, we did 4 podcasts, 4 videos for counting. And someone pointed out in the YouTube comments that for a company called Japanese from Zero, I'm surprised you didn't explain zero. Boom! True, I did not. We should have done that. That's why we're doing the Zero prequel. So for those of you who don't know what a prequel is, that's a story that you tell about like Star Wars. The first movies that we saw were the main story. And then they did a prequel which talked about what happened before those main stories. And that's what we're going to do today. And the new words, we need 3 new words to talk about zero because there are 3 versions of zero. And they have their ways that they're used. First one is zero. Zero. It is written in katakana. I know if you're following the lessons, you don't know katakana yet. Today there's going to be some kanji and some katakana in there, but we'll keep the romaji in there also for those of you that don't know it. But zero comes from English. It is a borrowed word. And another one is rei. Rei is the Chinese version of zero that when Japanese adopted kanji, they that came from the Wu dialect of Chinese, they brought in this new word for zero, which was rei. And another version of zero, not talked about that much, but very commonly used, is maru. Maru literally means circle. Okay? So zero and rei both mean zero, but maru means circle. And we'll talk about how they're used in just a second. So first let's talk about zero. You know that the Japanese from Zero books have the word zero in them. And if I wanted to say Japanese from Zero, I would say zero kara no nihongo. For example, I could say zero kara no nihongo. Right? The no is you'll learn that in a bit. And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of books in Japan. I'm not sure which came first. I hope mine did, because that way if they ever sued me, I would win. Zero kara hajimeru. It's like a staple of Japanese books. So many books say zero kara hajimaru, which means starting from zero. Start from zero something. And it could be PC programming. It could be zero kara hajimeru eikaiwa, English conversation that starts from zero. It means it's starting from nothing. Okay? So you'll find out that zero is when they're saying there's nothing. Starting from a base of nothing. Okay? Or where they're trying to get something. For example, you might see this somewhere. Gomi zero and then something after it. Gomi zero. That means zero trash. So they'll do that. They'll say gomi is trash, zero. Gomi zero. Like maybe that's their goal. That's their mokuhyo. Gomi zero mokuhyo. Or maybe they have like some sort of committee, and the committee is they're doing this gomi zero undo, the action to get zero trash. Maybe there's a park and they're trying to not have any trash, and there might be a sign when you walk into the park that says gomi zero. Okay? Or maybe on the highway, they're trying to have jiko zero. Jiko zero. That means 0 accidents. So they will use zero like this. All right? So it's basically when you're something that's not countable, but you want to get to nothing, so you're using zero there. You wouldn't say, for example, jiko rei or jiko maru. That doesn't work. It has to be zero here. All right, next one is rei. Now this is the kanji for it, and rei still means zero, but it's used in different areas. For example, reido. Reido. Reido is not, if you're a tech guy, it is not like a 5 raid or a mirror raid. It's not that. It's rei. Do means 0 degrees. Rei. Do. Do means degrees. Okay? It can be used in mathematics. It's kind of like an absolute zero, right? So this is rei ten go. 10 being a decimal, a point. 0.5 is rei ten go. I wish I had something smart here to say or funny, but I don't. You'll hear maybe there's a 0% chance of rain. So they'll say on the broadcast for weather, they'll say 0%. 0%. They will not say 0%. They'll say 0%, and that means 0%. Maybe you score on a test horribly. You score 0点. That means 0 points. 0点. Not 0点, not maru ten. It has to be 0点. All right? Final 0. And my favorite one is maru. Maru just means circle, like circle. Now, there's a very famous place in Tokyo. If you go to Shibuya, there's a very famous store called Shibuya ichi maru kyuu. When you're stringing numbers along, where you're saying individual numbers, a lot of times Japanese will say maru instead of 0, and definitely they wouldn't say re. They would say either 0 or maru. But maru is like the way, like this in English would be Shibuya 109. We say that all the time, 109, and we don't ever think about it. And these are the Japanese people. They're saying 1 circle 9, right? And we say 1 letter O 9, 109. So this is a good example. By the way, if you go to Shibuya, this is right at the crossing, the Shibuya crossing. It's amazing. If you go to Japan, this is a must go-to stop. It's one of the most busiest crosswalks in the world. I forget the numbers, but look it up. It's crazy. All right. So Japanese cell phones, for example, this is the N902 or the N902. They would call this the Q-maru-ni, the N902IS. That's what they would call it. All right. So, by the way, you'll still see a lot of flip phones in Japan. Yeah, they have smartphones, but they love this flip phone in Japan, even now in 2016. All right. So, like I said, when you're stringing numbers together, it's very common that they're going to use maru. A very, very common one is phone numbers. I'm in Las Vegas, and I'm in the 702 area code. So when I tell Japanese people my phone number, I say nana maru ni, blah, blah, blah. Nana maru ni. So there you go. That is the prequel. There is nothing left. I'll see you all on the next video, which will finally not be about, not about numbers. じゃあねー。